Pokémon Scarlet and Violet are set to come out this November, and I for one am super pumped to try out Game Freak's newest addition to the franchise. Game Freak has promised they've included everything that was good about the Pokémon series up to this point. We also have the benefit of the previews that Game Freak has provided, so we can compare what's already there to what might be. Hi everyone, I'm GameSmith, and today I'd like to share with you my hopes for the upcoming Pokémon Scarlet and Violet games. First off, let's talk about the story. I love a good story. For me, the holy trinity of video game criteria are story, graphics, and gameplay. When these things are brought together harmoniously, I truly believe that game developers create a true masterpiece. I can't remember which YouTuber it was, but one of them made the comment that Game Freak has only created 2 games, the one with the regular Pokemon formula and Pokemon Legends Arceus. It is both comical and sobering. For the most part, the Pokemon formula has worked over the years. Get your team together, beat the gyms, become the champion, and also save the world from whatever legendary Pokemon is threatening it at the time. Pokemon Sword and Shield storyline seemed fractured and not well thought out. Pokemon Legends Arceus did better and had a relatively coherent storyline, but it was pretty linear. Scarlet and Violet are announcing a new approach to the formula which has me excited. There is a traditional storyline where you compete to conquer gyms, but there will also be additional stories to uncover. My inner teenage girl eeks with excitement. Also, players will be able to complete gyms in any order they choose, meaning they have to have some mechanic that allows them to adjust the difficulty as players progress through the game. I am so glad that they have not just gone back to the old formula. Next, let's talk about graphics. I was really hoping they would up their game in this area, but it looks like they put some effort into the NPC presentation and less into the overworld. I think most players gave them a pass with Pokemon Sword and Shield, and to a lesser extent, Pokemon Legends Arceus, given that they were transitioning from the Nintendo 3DS to the Nintendo Switch. We were just happy to have them on the flagship console. However, now that they have some experience under their belt, I think our expectations have risen. I know that nobody is expecting Pokemon to come out with groundbreaking graphics, but can you imagine if they did? How epic would the game be with just that change? It does look like the graphics in Scarlet and Violet will be slightly above those of Legends Arceus. But I also thought that Legends Arceus was only slightly better than Roblox, so I'm setting the bar pretty low. In my opinion, if the graphics were better, it would push the Pokemon games into another tier of gameplay experience. However, one thing I pray they fix is the frame rate. I do not normally complain about this, especially on the Nintendo Switch, but watching some Pokemon wander around in Legends Arceus was painful. It makes you think you're playing on the Nintendo 64 again. One thing I hope to see in the new game is a better tutorial. The tutorial for Legends Arceus was long, just like every other tutorial in the Pokemon franchise, but at least it made sense. This was a brand new experience. But once you had it figured out, you didn't need it anymore. What if you wanted to do another playthrough of the game? You still have to sit through the tutorial again. For all other Pokemon games, making me sit through another tutorial explaining to me that Pokemon can be found in the tall grass is almost a human rights violation. I've known that since the days of yore with Pokemon Red and Blue. Please, Game Freak, make the tutorial skippable, or at least something similar to Sword and Shield, where they would ask you if you knew about a given mechanic. If you answered yes, they wouldn't tell you about it. Pokemon Legends Arceus introduced a new way to catch Pokemon, and it was a step in the right direction. You can see the Pokemon in the overworld, you can tell if they're shiny or not, and you can catch them without engaging them in battle. And to top it off, if you really do want to battle them, you can. I hope they keep this mechanic in Scarlet and Violet. However, I hope that they don't make the Pokédex entries as difficult to complete. I don't think I ever got around to perfecting any page of the Pokédex because it was just too tedious. And tedium does not make for good gameplay, only mini-game hours. One thing I think we can do without are the alpha Pokemon, and hear me out. If they're going to keep them, they need to make some adjustments. In Legends Arceus, alpha Pokemon help fill out the world as sort of mini bosses. There was also a mechanic that a Pokemon's HP was directly correlated with its size. Larger Pokemon have larger HP. Kinda makes sense in theory, but in practice, what this means is that smaller Pokemon were annihilated so frequently that I never bothered to put them on my team. I just stacked my team full of larger alphas. Also, the Pokemon generally hit harder in Legends Arceus to make battles quicker, which served the faster pace of the game. But again, this means that smaller Pokemon are mostly going to be one-hit KO'd. If they do keep alphas in Scarlet and Violet, I think they need to adjust the HP, or they need to adjust the damage. That way, the smaller Pokemon stand at least a bit more of a chance. I'd like to take a quick second to ask you that if you're not subscribed to the channel and you are enjoying the content, please subscribe to the channel. As an up-and-coming YouTuber, I'd greatly appreciate it. Currently, 99% of you that are watching aren't yet subscribed. So if you like it, go ahead and subscribe, and if not, don't feel obligated. From the looks of the preview, it looks like Pokemon can be with you outside of their Pokeballs. I've always liked this feature, as long as it's done right. In Pokemon BDSP, this feature was poorly executed, and it felt like a massive oversight. If they continue on with this feature, I hope it's implemented with more care and thought than it has been in previous generations. One of my favorite things about Legends Arceus was the Pokemon that you could ride on. A quick button press and you're riding, surfing, or flying through the world. And when you hit a new terrain, you can instantly switch Pokemon you're riding on. For Scarlet and Violet, it looks like you have access to the legendary Pokemon that will double as your transportation from near the beginning of the game. It also looks like a seamless transition between terrain again, which again, makes my inner teenage girl ooze with excitement. The Frenzied Pokemon battles from Legends Arceus were an excellent addition to the franchise and an inspired way to break up the monotony of gym battles. I can't tell from the previews, but I hope they do something similar where the player must interact with the Pokemon instead of just the player's Pokemon team. It's unclear, but I'm crossing my fingers that there will be. A small touch, but a welcome one, was the changes in evolution and movesets in Legends Arceus. For evolution, you could now evolve your Pokemon at your leisure instead of having to press the B button each time after they increased in level. But more importantly, as Pokemon learned new moves, they were stored in a move pool where you could swap out moves at will. This was an excellent idea because it allowed you to adapt your Pokemon and strategy to different circumstances. Personally, I would love if Game Freak just let you have access to all of your moves in battle, but I don't think that's a battle I'm ever going to win, so this will do for now. Since June of 2022, Scarlet and Violet has placed heavy emphasis on having a seamless open world. I think many players were disappointed with Legends Arceus overworld because it wasn't a seamless transition from one area to another. That wasn't as important to me as was the fast traveling. I really disliked having to travel back to Jubilife Village before I could go to another area. Just let me travel to the new area from the one I'm in. I think the transition to the seamless open world is a big step forward for exploration and doesn't make you tied down to a single area. Something that was missing in Legends Arceus was the ability to breed and hatch Pokemon. This made sense given how the gameplay was structured. However, I always enjoyed being able to breed Pokemon and hatch them, especially for shiny hunting, and I hope it's something they bring back with Scarlet and Violet. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are making what seems like a big change to the multiplayer aspect by allowing you to bring in up to 3 friends or family with you to explore the various regions of the game. Also, being able to join raids to take down rare Pokemon was always a good time. I think this is a welcome addition to the franchise, but I wonder what limitations they'll put on multiplayer activities. I guess we'll see later. One thing I complained about a lot was the difficulty in Pokemon BDSP. The game goes out of its way to hold your hand when you don't need it or don't want it, to the point that they eliminate a good portion of the challenge of the game, and simultaneously, your enjoyment. I understand this is a complicated area to address. Pokemon is built to be enjoyed by all ages, but making the same experience for a 10-year-old and for someone more experienced usually ends up having to lean on the side of easier gameplay. I think this could be fixed with a few adjustments. I'm not looking to play Pokemon Dark Souls. For those who have played Pokemon games before and understand how it works, they need something else to up the difficulty. The implementation of adding maybe a difficulty setting like easy, medium, or hard Where you adjust the opponent's levels and intelligence might make sense. Also, they can make things like experience share optional. I think some may argue that these games are made for kids, but honestly I disagree. A large demographic of their players grew up with these games and still love them. We talked our parents into buying older generations, and we're the ones buying them now. It would be nice if they started to build the game's difficulty with this in mind, so that they can be adaptable to the several demographics instead of just one. Overall, what I'm really hoping for with Pokémon Scarlet and Violet is the polish that has been lacking in recent iterations of the franchise. The things that make you go, oh cool, or wow, when you see them. I don't think coming up with a new gimmick like Dynamax or the terrestrial feature is really going to be enough. Based on what I've seen in the previews, I think they've made some definite headway, and I'm very excited to see what they come up with. Well everyone, I think that's going to be it for now. If you got any value out of the video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Oh,